The flow of love to others builds strong character and strength. We should all take interest in uplifting our fellow men, being more cooperative and service-oriented, because prosperity is a condition of harmony and a great will to serve. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson, and in this edition of Jamaica Magazine, we take a look at what's unfolding for businesses' growth and jobs in Jamaica's logistics hub, plus the International Seabed Authority. Also on the pages, how to stay healthy by avoiding hepatitis, a disease of the liver. Stay with us for these, our top news stories of the week, and more on the other side of this break.
Do you want to know more about the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative? What of the proposed transshipment port at Goat Islands? Or the jobs to be provided when the hub is fully implemented? Then sign up for the Logistics 101 training course. This free course is available when groups or organizations make a request.
The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce website, the Logistics Hub Task Force, and you can register. As long as you have a cohort, we'll take it to you.
Increase your awareness about logistics. Call 968-7116.
Various aspects of the Jamaica Logistics Hub initiative are already unfolding. Among them, the important legislative changes to support the venture. And investors from home and abroad are gearing up. Here's a view of what's in store as everyone gets ready for increased businesses and jobs.
Transnational corporations are seeking more cost-effective ways of doing business. The integration of shipping and logistics hubs with industrial zones is evolving as the less expensive new mode of moving products to consumers, and Jamaica is establishing itself as the fourth node in the global chain.
We're talking about a concentration of entities engaged in global commerce using our transportation infrastructure.
And creating more avenues for Jamaicans to access high-skill level, globally competitive, lucrative employment options. Jamaica's Logistics Hub initiative provides the local business sector with a near-shore distribution advantage, a base for generating enormous cargo flows, either as raw material, intermediate or finished goods, to the world's largest consumer markets.
What we offer is a shorter distance to market. We offer it at a lower cost. So instead of somebody ordering something, a manufacturer, a business, or even a final consumer, ordering something from China, and it takes 3 weeks to get here. If the goods are stockpiled in Jamaica, it can take 1 or 2 days. So it's things like that that we are demonstrating to businesses, to companies, and they are taking up that value proposition that Jamaica offers.
The new mode of operation creates more jobs both at the ports and the connecting industrial zones.
Cargo will come out of the port into the economic zones and undergo some form of transformation. That provides work for people in the assembly, it provides work for the technicians, even just putting in manuals in the appropriate language when the camera is shipped out. And that is where you have more economic benefit filtering into the economy.
Through agencies such as JAMPRO, the government has been attracting companies to set up shop in special economic zones. 16 zones have been identified, and as discussions advance with investors, work has started for the build-out of some infrastructure. It begins with the build-out of the Caymanas Economic Zone, spanning some 200 acres of production space in Phase 1 and an additional 1,500 acres of production space in Phase 2. Coupled with the Portland Bight Economic Zone, it will set the stage for thousands of new jobs, initially in construction-related tasks and later in a range of technical, manufacturing, administrative and related posts.
That is where companies will require financial services, accounting services, legal services. They're required to use purchase electricity, water. All of those economic activities benefit country, it provides employment.
While people will be working in the industrial zones, assembling or manufacturing products, those products will need to be transported, and that opens up work opportunities for drivers and trucking firms. The special economic zones are replacing what we previously knew as free zones and will be the heart and soul of Jamaica's logistics hub. Just as businesses in these zones will need to meet industrial standards, so too will the workforce.
The other hubs that exist across the world, they have zero unemployment. When you have a situation where everybody is employed, crime goes down. Other social ills are removed. The range of industries which we are targeting, biotechnology, medical devices, paper processing. These industries never existed in Jamaica.
These globally competitive companies are looking for engineers, technicians, value-added providers, and others with internationally competitive skills and technological competencies. Jamaicans must, if they haven't already, quickly begin the process of getting international certification to fill the new job openings.
The thing is, in conjunction with training, we have to ensure that the training is certified to international standards.
The Caribbean Maritime Institute, CMI, with its School of Advanced Skill, is working with the local universities to train as many persons as possible and provide the required international certification to meet the demands. The CMI is also offering a special training course dubbed Logistics 101 to increase the public's understanding of the hub initiative. This is accessible when groups or organizations make a request.
So people can go to the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce website, the Logistics Hub Task Force, and you can register for this course. Equally, there'll be a link to the Caribbean Maritime Institute website. So you can go there and register, and you can request the course. As long as you have a cohort, we'll take it to you.
The doors of opportunities are open for Jamaicans to seize the moment to build economic success. To capitalize, local entrepreneurs and job seekers must be prepared and ready, globally competitive for Jamaica's changing industrial landscape. Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
Oceans and seas take up most of the earth, and the use of areas beyond the national jurisdiction of countries, particularly for mining of valuable mineral, has grown momentum. But how is this area controlled and managed for the benefit of all? Take a look at this important institution set up to do just that.
Many countries are landlocked with no direct access to the world's seas and oceans. Then there are those who claim legal ownership to territorial land masses as well as surrounding waterways. But beyond those are international waters to which no nation can claim jurisdiction. International organizations are therefore established to manage access to these waterways and their treasures. In the latter part of the 20th century, world leaders instituted one such organization, the International Seabed Authority, ISA. It was tasked with organizing and controlling all mineral-related activities within the international seabed area, which was designated as the common heritage of mankind. The The International Seabed Authority came into force after the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea was adopted on December 10, 1982. A year earlier, a petition put forward by Jamaica in 1974 was accepted. It called for the ISA to have its headquarters in Jamaica and as a result now finds a home within the Jamaica Conference Center in downtown Kingston. It was inaugurated on November 16, 1994 and became fully operational in June 1996. Today, the ISA has a membership of 166 countries, including the European Union, all of which are parties to the Law of the Sea Convention. The International Seabed Authority is composed of three principal organs: the Assembly, Council, and Secretariat. There are also two specialized organs, the Legal and Technical Commission and the Finance Committee. All member countries are represented in the ISA's Assembly, while the 36-member Council is elected by the Assembly. The ISA's main tasks include administering the mineral resources of the international seabed area, the promotion and encouragement of marine scientific research, and ensuring the effective protection of the marine environment. The authority operates by contracting private and public corporations to explore and eventually exploit specified areas on the deep seabed for mineral resources essential for building most technological products. It also organizes workshops on various aspects of seabed exploration and exploitation and disseminates information resulting from these sessions. In 2006, the authority established an endowment fund to support collaborative marine scientific research on the international seabed area. The International Seabed Authority is commemorating its 20th anniversary in 2014. From July 14 to 25, member countries gathered in Kingston to participate in its annual session. As part of that, while the ISA's anniversary actually falls on November 16, a special day-long commemorative session was held on July 22. Over the period, members reviewed applications for seabed exploration contracts and dealt with the drafting of a marine minerals mining code. The authority also reviewed its accomplishments and discussed future activities and programs.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice. High five. Woo!
A good education will never decay.
Hepatitis is a medical condition where the liver is inflamed, either by a virus or other infections. More in this next feature of the condition and how we can protect ourselves and stay healthy.
The human liver is an amazing organ. It performs some pretty vital functions, like regulating blood sugar and processing nutrients, storing the nutrients you eat and releasing them into your bloodstream as your body needs them. But did you also know that your liver does detoxification? It converts harmful substances like alcohol and other everyday foods into harmless products that can be excreted. Now that doesn't sound like an organ you can risk damaging, right? But the truth is, the liver is often attacked by a virus known as hepatitis. And on today's HealthWise, we find out more about this virus, all 5 types, and tell you what you can do to stay hepatitis-free. Hepatitis poses a serious threat to the liver. Upon entering the body, the virus attacks the liver, causing varying stages of infection and diseases. These range from mild to chronic and put victims at high risk of cirrhosis of the liver as well as liver cancer. Hepatitis also leads to death in many cases. The World Health Organization (WHO) reports that viral hepatitis kills 1.5 million people worldwide every year. alarming statistics that have prompted the WHO to push for a change in attitude to the various types of hepatitis. The WHO has designated July 28 as World Hepatitis Day to raise awareness and to call for access to treatment and better prevention programs that start with knowledge of how the virus enters the body in the first place. This depends on the type of virus, whether it's hepatitis A, B, C, D, or E. Hepatitis A and E are caused from ingesting food or water contaminated by feces of an infected person. It usually occurs where there's a lack of safe water and in cases of poor sanitation and proper hygiene. Certain sexual practices can also contribute to the spread of hepatitis A. While the A virus is not known to cause chronic liver disease, it does cause debilitating symptoms and acute liver failure, which can be fatal. Hepatitis B is contracted through exposure to infected blood, semen, and other bodily fluids. It can also be transmitted from infected mothers to infants in childbirth, transfusion of unscreened blood, and through contaminated needles from drug use or medical procedures. The B virus also poses a risk to healthcare workers who get stuck accidentally by needles while caring for infected patients. Hepatitis C is passed on mainly through contaminated blood. Transmission through sex and from mother to child is also possible, but much less common. Hepatitis D infections occur only in those who are infected with the B virus. This dual infection of the B and D viruses can lead to a more serious disease and worse outcomes. Some of the symptoms of hepatitis include loss of appetite, an enlarged liver, tenderness of the liver, abdominal pain and tenderness, nausea, vomiting, and fever. Other symptoms include fatigue, joint pain, and jaundice, which is displayed through yellowing of the skin and eyes, dark urine, and pale stool. The good news is hepatitis viruses can be prevented by making informed lifestyle choices. Improved sanitation along with proper hygiene practices are effective ways to prevent the diseases caused by the hepatitis A and E viruses. In places where sanitation is inadequate, water should be boiled, all food properly cooked, and fruits washed, then peeled. In addition, there's a hepatitis A vaccine. Protecting yourself from hepatitis B can be done by avoiding contact with infected blood or bodily fluids. This means avoiding unprotected sex, sharing razors, nail files, toothbrushes, or needles used by infected persons. There's also a vaccine for the hepatitis B virus. Doctors recommend it for all infants as soon as possible after birth, followed by 2 or 3 doses to complete the primary series. However, children and adolescents under 18 who haven't yet been vaccinated can still get the vaccine. The hepatitis B vaccine also provides protection from the D virus. As for hepatitis C, there's currently no vaccine, but research is ongoing. Persons such as healthcare workers or caregivers who treat patients with contagious forms of hepatitis should wash their hands, utensils, bedding, and clothing with soap and hot water. Also, people traveling to countries where hepatitis is widespread are advised to get vaccinated before leaving. Hepatitis can pose a serious threat to your liver, but there are other factors that can contribute to liver damage. Among them, excessive drinking of alcohol, traumatic injury like the kind you could sustain in a car crash, autoimmune disorders, and adverse reactions to medication. Be on the alert, practice proper hygiene, and check with your doctor. Be good to your liver and it will be good to you.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
On the board this week, the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission is inviting everyone out to an evening with Miss Lou. Come participate in this event honoring the life and work of Dr. the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, featuring Karen Harriott, Dion Silvera, Amina Blackwood Meeks, Faye Ellington, and Sheldon Shepherd. It's this Sunday, September 7 at the Louise Bennett Garden Theatre, 36 Hope Road, Kingston 10. Admission free. An exhibition will be on display at 4 p.m. The Michael University Care Center will be hosting a 5th Biennial Education Conference from October 9 to 10 at the Jamaica Conference Center. The conference will be held under the theme Cultivating a Growth Mindset, equipping our teachers with strategies that make instructions stick. And that's all for our community notices today. Send us your events for broadcast on the JIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868-022 or send an email to cbishop@jis.gov.jm.
And now for a few notes from the desk of the Prime Minister.
Unfortunately, this drought has again highlighted some dangerous agricultural practices, such as burning to clear the land. These fires get out of control and have been detrimental to farms, livestock, and regrettably result in loss of lives. We want to urge our farmers to stop this practice of lighting fires to clear land. It is just not worth it.
Stop. Think before you burn. The dry season is on, so there's little to no rainfall and wind speeds increase around this time too. What if the fire you light gets out of control? Where would you get the water to out the flame? Why not try bagging up waste and putting it outside for collection? If you absolutely must burn, construct a fire break by clearing an area around the site to be burnt. Use water to wet the perimeter of the brush being burnt. Burn in small piles and be sure to burn one pile at a time. If no water is available, ensure you have some dirt to douse the fire. Remember, take stock of yourself and think before you burn.
Our top news stories of the week are next.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. While on assignment to engage some high-level stakeholders in the United States this week, Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips signed 3 loan agreements with the World Bank valued at $105 million. The loans will be used to support 3 main projects: the Foundation for Competitiveness and Growth, youth employment in digital and animation industries, and the Strategic Public Sector Transformation Project. Government also signed a $300,000 grant with the Inter-American Development Bank to support the development of the Mobile Money for Microfinance M3 project. News also came this week that Jamaica had improved 8 places on the Global Competitiveness Index and is now ranked 86 out of 144 countries. The new report was released on September 2 by the World Economic Forum and assesses the country's competitiveness landscape, providing insight into the drivers of productivity and prosperity. The Global Competitiveness Index is captured under 12 criteria, including macroeconomic environment, health and primary education, labor market efficiency, technological readiness, business sophistication, and innovation. The 2014-2015 new school year got off to a fairly smooth start Monday morning and was officially launched on Thursday. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites toured a number of institutions in the corporate area on the first morning.
Generally, I'm happy to see all the schools that we have visited this morning in an advanced state of readiness, with teachers out and enthusiastic, and so many parents, and particularly many more fathers than I've seen in the past, come with their little children to infant school or to primary school.
He said most of the schools with unfinished infrastructural repairs would see the work being completed during the first half of the school year. Early in the week, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company revealed that it was extending the period for concession passengers to continue paying by cash. Concession passengers, who include senior citizens, the disabled, and students, have until tomorrow, September 7, to travel on JUTC buses without their smarter cards. JUTC's Deputy Managing Director of Operations, Kirk Finnegan, said the decision was taken as a result of the large crowds turning up at the company's offices to get cards. Persons can get the smarter cards at the JUTC's East Parade office downtown, the Halfway Tree Transport Center, and the Spanish Town lay-by. And finally, September 13 is the date set for the official funeral for the late Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Roger Clark. The service is scheduled to take place at the St. George's Anglican Church in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. Interment follows in his home community in Williamsfield in the parish. Minister Clark died on August 28 in Florida. He was in the U.S. recovering from surgery for a back condition. His body is expected to return to the island on September 10. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride, or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
And that's it for today's show. Thanks so much for watching. It was good sharing this half hour with you. Tell us what you thought of the show. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or hit us up on Twitter @JISNews. And our website, jis.gov.jm, remains a constant portal for the very latest government information, so keep the link. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, inviting you to join us again tomorrow for more. Until next time, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.